Peace and love, y'all. We are back. We're going to do another next 48 reading to enhance your intuition, to guide your intuition, to enhance your psychic abilities. I can be tapping into your energy with your consent, of course. The rules are go ahead and tap in by commenting down below your zodiac sign placement. That gives me consent to read your guys' energy, and that gives you your sanity knowing that you actually have a part in this reading, okay? That being said, let's see what's going on here for you guys. Some ancestor messages, spirit guide messages. Spiritual beings of the highest white light. Those here to guide, protect, heal, and navigate with the best intentions, with harm to none and benefit to all. Let's get these messages. All right, next 48 hours. Let's see what you're dealing with. Next 48 hours. All right. All right, here we go. Healing light, light energy, restore your essence, Reiki energy, okay? So there's something being healed in your energy. We have trauma leech. Your pain is their fuel. They unload their trauma on you with no intention to heal or work on themselves, no personal growth. Energy drain. Feeling fatigued, depleted, imbalanced. Embrace the stillness. Untapped ability, unrecognized gift. Wow, you guys are releasing some sort of attachment in the next 48 hours. I'm also seeing you're prioritizing yourself. Sacred breath work. You need time to kind of like chill and focus on yourself. You have divination. Some of you guys could be using divination tools or watching a reading. Angelic energy. So you're definitely protected overall. I do see that. So I don't think that there's like anything like wrong or going haywire with your energy, but I do feel like you are feeling some sort of effects of something just not vibing right with you in the next 48 hours. We have aligned action, so make sure that you have integrity. You know, you're clear on what goals you're trying to set and you're actually navigating through them. Some of you guys could be journaling or finding some sort of insights in your journal or through reflection. Some of you guys may need to write down your spiritual messages that you get when you're reflecting through spirit. All right. Some of you guys, that it could be like when you're doing readings or you book a reading or something like that, make sure that you transcribe things, write things down, especially if it has anything to do with healing. So you're creating some sort of distance from some sort of habits, some sort of belief system, particular types of relationships that hinder your peace, well-being, and personal growth. Or you're like just distant emotionally. You're prioritizing yourself. So that would make sense with like embrace the stillness. Quiet always reveals the truth. Meditation and reflection will provide insight in the next 48 hours for you. All right. But you're feeling fatigue mostly because there is some sort of untapped gift. There's a particular gift that is draining you. It's draining your energy. And that's just me saying it in a general way, because I can't necessarily tell you like which gift it is, because I am reading for a lot of you. So you have a particular gift, ability, skill. That thing is being drained. All right. Either you've been feeling drained these past 2 days because of it, or in the next 2 days, you're going to be really drained energetically because of this. Okay. And there's like some sort of imbalance here. So you need clarity on the imbalance from what I'm seeing in the next 48 hours. We have hidden support, unseen allies, hidden helpers, workplace allies. Give us two more. Next 48. Two more for the next 48. Have angelic frequency, angelic energy shielding you from any harm, heavenly protected in the next 48 hours. Especially if you're using any type of divination tools or getting a reading from someone. We have energy cleansing needed. Release heavy energy, clear stagnant negative energy, causing issues for you at this time. Banish unwanted energies around you. That's falling right next to journaling insights, okay? You have an ancestor of protection around you in the next 48 hours, okay? And they're aligning you to whatever actions you need help with. They're saying act with intention. Every choice matters. Move purposely. So they're helping you to move purposely in spiritual alignment for the best outcome for you. So you could be led to do a reading for yourself or purchase a reading, get a personal reading or something like that. Or some of you guys, this is you grabbing your own tools and, doing a reading for yourself. Okay, take what applies here. And under this reading, you'll get the protection from your ancestors, and you'll get angelic protection. It's like you tap in, and because you're communing with them, you're under their protection. Okay. But there's a cleansing that is needed. And again, with that trauma leech, we'll get into it in a second. Because I want to know what the heck is going on with that trauma leech. Next 48. What do they need to know? For those that are tapping in, whenever they're tapping in, whether it be the live stream or the replay, they will find this reading, this video exactly when they need it. All right. Synchronicities are being ignored. Last morning, talking about the imbalance. What else do they need to know? Sage yourself. So energy cleansing, you may need sage. Get some more sage, sage yourself. Okay. Next 48 hours, it'll be beneficial for you to sage yourself. Your front all the way around. The front of your body and the back of your body. There's something about like your back needs to get cleansed. All right. And that will make sense because we have energetic leeches and trauma leech here. We have no. And that came accompanied with the crow call. And it's crazy because I heard the crows today. So next 48 hours, you're being guided to like completely come to a halt in a situation. All right. Like don't do something until you cleanse. Some of you guys, you just finished watching some sort of collective reading And I just talked about that the previous two readings about this energy. You just finished watching a collective reading on YouTube. Cleanse your energy. You're holding on to negativity from that reading. What reading did you just come from? What reading was your last reading? You need to look in your go to your most recently seen videos and figure out which one is this, because it's a no. It's a no. It's a no to the situation. Like, no, you're not supposed to be doing that type of reading. Like, no, something's off there. What's going on here? And I've been saying this for a while now. It keeps popping up. So that means that the message needs to get across to somebody. Spiritual healing. Spiritual healings. Spell work needed. Spiritual healing. That would make sense because you're drained of energy, depletion of energy, an imbalance in the energy, and there's a need for spiritual healing, a restoration of energy, a calling back of energy. Because there's a gift of yours that you're not recognizing that is blooming. And you cannot recognize that because you don't have all of your energy. So if you're not at 100%, you're not going to realize other misalignments, okay? We have successful removal. Some of you guys have already partaken in some sort of Reiki, because Reiki did show up, okay? Some sort of energetic cord plucking, cord removal, all right? A cord cutting to pluck away and to remove that energetic leech, from what I'm seeing here, to get back into your own frequency. But someone may need to cleanse on top of that, because we do have, energetic leeches around, all right? So it could be that there's an energetic leech. And I was talking about this a few days ago in the readings. Like, there could be a reader that you could be watching. You could have watched a reader or a spiritual teacher, someone, okay? You could have watched something, some sort of video, and that particular person goes off based off of trauma events, trauma situations, trauma drama, okay? And so there's a trauma leech here that could be connected to your energy, and it keeps bringing you back to that type of cycle. And they're saying you just watched it, like somebody just watched some sort of collective reading that it was like very, very negative, okay? And you're holding on to the negativity because of this type of reading. And you need to focus on spiritual healing is what they're saying. What's going on here? Next 48 hours. What needs to be revealed for them? Next 48. That their peace ends now. I do feel like for those of you that called your power back, the people that were taking your power and taking your energy, depleting your energy, are now going to be going through a rough time, because they can't use that as fuel anymore, especially if they were sending you evil eye or projecting negative energy to you. So these particular folks that you've been experiencing that situation with, their peace is ending now in the next 48 hours, all right? But you're being guided to continue to heal. And for those of you that, like, you have had some sort of previous confirmation or synchronicity, letting you know that, someone was messing with you. There was some sort of, witchy throwdown, witchy warfare or situation like that of manipulation of energy. The dark magic spells and whatever the heck they were doing, it has been removed. So it already went back to sender. So I could be speaking on that situation for you guys in the next 48 hours. And now they're not going to be such in a joyful mood. In fact, they're going to be fucking crying and bitching and complaining now, because everything that was moving for them is now coming to a complete halt. And so I'm seeing something about an apartment application accepted. Okay. What's going on here? Next 48 hours. What else do they need to know? Welcome to the new people that just joined in. Don't forget to tap in. Follow the rules. Comment down below your zodiac sign so that way I can tap into your energy, so that way you will be able to get the most accurate messages. Okay. So I am seeing someone try to befriend you, all right? But in fact, they are an enemy. I'm seeing somebody was sitting there having a conversation, and the conversation has something to do with you. You were referenced in the conversation, so your name was mentioned, or you were being spoken about. Okay, so you were being referenced in this conversation, and some sort of information came from this particular person that had befriended you, but in reality, they're conspiring against you. And what is that conspiracy? That conspiracy is that they don't want good things to happen for you. Okay, so that being said, this particular person has said something to like the person that's conspiring against you said something to this person, all right? And this particular intel came from them, all right? So when you sit there and you find out in the next 48 hours, oh, such and such said this, or this is being said, or this is being mentioned, and it's being brought up to you, now you know who the source is going to be. Because the source is going to be revealed to you in the next 48 hours, okay? And they're saying, your ancestors are saying, they talk to your enemies. They befriended people that you don't like. Or people that don't like you, all right? Next 48 hours. Someone may need a reading, a private reading. Yeah, we have, look at that. Energetic parasites. Some of you may need to wear head wraps around these people because they try to manipulate your mind and they try to confuse your intuition. We have a backfire tower. Some of you guys have some sort of karmic energetic cords or attachments, contracts with these particular folk. And, Reiki could help in regards to like mending the energy that is remaining between you and them. But you also got to do, because journal and insight is here. So you also have to do some reflecting on your end too. Because it's not just about clearing the energy and that's it. Because if you still have unresolved emotions, if there's still some unresolved lessons, the energy is still going to sit there. And so that's how, the cords start to regrow again. And that's how the energy hooks start to, develop between you and them again, right? And that's where the energetic attachments form. And sometimes, it's almost like when you try to heal a bone after it's broken, you want to make sure that it sets properly. before you start, utilizing that bone again and putting weight and pressure and things of that nature, and stress on the bone. So that being said, energetically, when you are trying to clear out karmic connections and karmic contracts and, just unhealed toxic ties with people, what happens is that you want to make sure that you are also, from a psychological and emotional standpoint, healing from the situation. And this is why I like to utilize tarot as a therapy tool, not just as reading a situation and telling you what outcome could possibly happen in the future, but actually utilize it to get to the root and cause of what needs to be healed, what hasn't been spoken, and finding that formula, that sweet spot in terms of your holistic healing experience, what your ancestors are saying that you need in order to finally be finished with a particular cycle, finally be finished with a particular type of lesson, and be able to actually heal not just yourself, but also your lineage, right? And so that being said, so somebody has like a Reiki to-do list. All right, it's time to whip out that Reiki to-do list in the next 48 hours and kind of try to figure out, okay, what is the thing that I want to really focus on healing right now? What is the theme that keeps popping up for me in terms of healing? With this energy of that trauma leech thing and those karmic situations in regards to like people trying to beguile you, trying to utilize you, trying to manipulate you, and trying to like coerce you into like telling them information that they don't need in order to manipulate you in the end. All right, the evil eye situations of the nature that you've been experiencing, the energies of you being drained, right? Where that's really stemming from, why that's happening, where there could be some sort of barriers, or where there should be barriers for you guys in regards to boundaries and things of that nature, right? In regards to your spiritual health maintenance in the next 48 hours, you're being counseled to work on your heart center and your heart chakra, to open and clear out any unwanted energies in the heart center and the heart chakra. So again, this could be projected emotions. If you experience people being jealous of you, envious of you, whether it's intentional or not, what ends up happening is that you get a lot of energies thrown to your heart center. You may have some mood swings. You may feel more bitter than sweet. Emotionally, you could feel kind of blocked off. You could feel kind of guarded. You could feel kind of attacked, right? And so this is you energetically feeling drained in the heart center and fatigued in the heart center because you're being depleted emotionally. This is where like you end up putting other people's emotions on your plates, and then you kind of exhaust your heart center completely. So make sure that you're replenishing your heart center, listening to heart chakra music or frequency, which is 432 hertz. Okay. Again, with removing toxic cords could look like you speaking to people. That's a cord. You texting someone, that's a cord. You thinking about someone, that's a cord. You mentioning someone's name, that's a cord, right? So whenever you feel like you mention someone's name a lot throughout the day and you kind of want to cut those cords, you could literally just say, I send back that person's energy back to them with benefit to all, harm to none. I ask for my energy to come back to me from any room that I was not present in, and I want it to be I want it to come back to me 100%. I want it to come back to me healed and light and love and peace and laughter, right? And again, this is the power of your own breath. You are calling in that energy. When you call in, the same thing when you manifest things, especially for those of you that like have taken my fire magic course. Okay, when you go ahead and you do the Reiki healing And when you go ahead and you send that intention to your candles, right? You're sending that energy, that vibration, that intention, that purpose. You're basically setting it in stone, okay? And once it happens in your mind, once it happens in your heart, once it happens out loud, once you say it out loud, it's locked in. Okay, this is why you feel your energy return to you when you're focusing, breathing in, and you're focusing on the energy return to you. That's why you feel that energy shift within your body. Okay, so again, some of you guys may need maybe perhaps guided meditation or something of that nature, something to add to your healing routine. All right. Make sure that again, you're not just letting anyone pull on your energy. Okay, you're not just letting anyone energetically, operate on you. Okay, so meaning like you're not just watching any video. You're not just letting anybody do a service for you for free or energy exchanges like that, because there's always ties. Okay, a note for you to kind of keep in mind, all right, in the next 48 hours, you would know if you are under some sort of psychic attack, if you start to feel a little nauseous, tightness, or pain, soreness around the stomach or solar plexus, okay? That is a sign that there was someone around you, someone that you interacted with, okay, or someone that was directing energy towards you, that they have a rotted energy, okay, very rotten, lower vibrational, nasty energy, so much that will make you sick as soon as the energy is being directed to you. And that lets you know that that particular person, if you are experiencing that and you're getting those particular signs that you're under psychic attack, right, that lets you know that this person does not respect you, okay, that they're literally disrespecting your energy, and that's what you're feeling. You're feeling disgust because this person is not, like, they don't respect your energy, or they don't respect the boundaries that you set, or they have a particular direct agenda against you. Whether you know exactly what that is or not, energetically, this is what it's saying, okay? So in the next 48 hours, I am seeing some sort of vibrational frequency elevation for you. So even though I am seeing these particular things happening and shifting around you, this is just for you to know, like, hey, FYI, this is what's happening around you. This is how you can detect it. This is how it's going to feel. These are the reasons why it's happening. And of course, in the next 48 hours, as you go through the motions and you kind of start to detect the signs, the whole intention for this reading is for you to be able to be like, okay, so now I know that when I feel this particular way, my intuition is saying this, or I'm utilizing this particular gift, or my spiritual team decides to give me synchronicities in this particular way. And this is why I asked you guys to go ahead and transcribe things and have a particular journal for messages and things of that nature. So that way you could, it's an interactive type of thing, right? It's not just like, oh, what's going to happen in 2 days or what's going to happen in the future. And, it happens and that's it, right? No, it's more so I want you to make sure that you not just enhance your own intuition, because everybody has your own discernment, but you're able to also identify, the scammers, to identify the people that, are not, that they say that they're high vibrational, that they say that they, want things that are, beneficial for you, but they're not, And so I am seeing, that energetic shift for you guys. So be on alert, because there is a liar here in the next 48 hours that your ancestors and your spiritual team want you to be aware of. There's also a narcissist that's trying to manipulate you in the next 48 hours. Could it be the same person? We'll see in a little bit, okay? They're emotionally sadistic, so their enjoyment derives from hurting someone. So this is the type of person that will kind of like laugh when someone is crying, will laugh when someone's in pain, will laugh when someone's distraught, will laugh when someone's like going through like some sort of emotional or mental breakdown, right? Just laugh in a very inappropriate way, right? And This is someone that, based off of from what I'm seeing here, their behavior changes based off of the situation. So they go from putting you on a pedestal and making you feel good and saying all the right things, and then just like knocking that down and ultimately devaluing you, or like kind of like gaslighting type of situation, right? Where like they'll make you feel like you were tripping and you made things up the whole time, right? So they're telling you like to kind of slow down your energy around this person, because they are a liar, and it's because they're not saying something to you. All right, so somebody might need a personal reading in regards to some particular relationship questions. All right, or like whether something is healthy, a relationship is healthy, a connection is healthy, or something there. Okay, because there's also going to be a confirmation there for you guys. Let's see what else. Confirm what's going on here with that trauma leech in the next 48 hours. Clarify that trauma leech. Describe that trauma leech, please. Your pain is their fuel, okay? They unload their trauma onto you, and then we have an apology here. So this is like somebody that keeps apologizing over and over again. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, or every time they come around, the trauma leech, returns with another apology, but with no growth. All right. No intention of getting better, but there's another apology with this trauma leech. Okay. They could be withholding information. Clarify the trauma leech and this apology. We have memories. They'll bring up things from the past. They could be utilizing memories from the past to make things more painful for you. Clarify this trauma leech. So like they'll bring up past situations, past conversations, past circumstances, past connections, something from the past. They'll bring it up and it's painful. All right, stress, a past argument, something that will tense up a situation. Clarify this trauma leech. Yeah, they're exposing this trauma leech in the next 48 hours. Because then they talk about energy cleansing, releasing this heavy energy that could have created this negative energy or this stagnant energy, like things are not moving, or just this unwanted energy. Clarify trauma leech. Give them more insight. Running. So what I'm seeing, like it's very, very weird. Okay, very weird energy. And the energy is like whoever's sitting in the energy of the trauma leech, right? We'll just call them the trauma leech from right now, right? The trauma leech in the next 48 hours wants to manipulate you through some sort of pain, but they apologize. But through the apology, they try to also bring something up from the past, which causes you to tense up and causes the argument to further escalate into stress mode. Then the trauma leech decides to fucking run and disappear from the fucking problem. That's what I'm seeing. Clarify the trauma leech. It's like, why did you even... You know what I heard? How did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Oh, Jesus. Confusion, of course, exactly. Like, why did you even try to apologize if you're still going to do the same thing? Distance. They're going to try to bring something up that happened such a long time ago. Like, that happened so long ago. Like, so the trauma leech tries to use not just memories. They try to utilize, they try to anchor it down to the amount of time. This is how they manipulate the energy. They go back to trauma. They hint back to trauma that happened a long time ago. They reference things that have like history, okay? To try to clear something up there, or try to um bring it up in a painful way, and then it creates this like argument or this stress for you. Clarify this, trauma leech. But they're not saying it. Yeah, trapped is here. They're not saying it to make things better. They're saying it to entangle you more into this stress, to make you feel guilty. They're, like, this trauma leech just trying to fucking guilt trip you about something that fucking happened so long ago, to try to like, with this web here, like you're keeping your distance, but they're trying to get you close enough to entangle you into this drama and to captivate you into like believing them. We have escaping here and running. You're avoiding this person after they ran out on you and they pushed you away. You thought, well, this trauma leads, you thought there was a soulmate connection there. You thought there was a deep connection between you and this trauma leech. And hey, maybe there is, a trauma bond. So the next 48 hours, pay attention to who this trauma leech is, because I feel like this person doesn't even tell you the whole situation anyway. They don't even tell you the whole thing. They're lying to your face. They're saying face the story. The story is missing too much information. And that's how you know they're a liar. Something is not adding up. It's imbalanced. Clarify this energy that's being drained, this energy drain in the next 48 hours. The second chance is in the reverse. So in order for you not to drain your energy, you can't give somebody a second chance. You can't do something over again in the next 48 hours. No opportunities, no second chances, no reconnections, no making amends. No second chances. Because that drains your energy in the next 48 hours if you do. If you do that, it will drain your energy. And with imbalance here, you're not going to get anything back. We have releasing. Confusion. Yeah. Wow. Clarify omitting the truth. What is being withheld? Omitting the truth. Clarify omitting the truth. Pride. Oh. So they're not saying something. Whoever's sitting there lying, or they're holding back information, they're doing it because they have like a poker face. Like they're stubborn. They don't want to be wrong. They don't want to be in the wrong. Clarify what they're lying about. Escaping. Oh yeah, they're trying to avoid this at all costs. Spying. Trying to probably even figure out like who knows something about it. so that way they won't get caught in regards to it. Like, what is this situation? Like, somebody would even block someone just to not talk or admit a situation. Like, someone will block someone on social media just to not get caught lying. What is this lying situation about? Clarify the liar alert. Stagnant, stuck. I think they're gonna get stuck telling the lie, longing. Stuck in a conversation and they're gonna say, yeah. Somebody's gonna get stuck in a conversation and they're gonna say something. And somebody else is watching. Salty. Ooh. It's like somebody's gonna say something because they're angry, or somebody's being petty with somebody, and they hear something. Ooh. That they don't want to hear because his ears are he's covering his ears. This is the second time soulmates came up, and then Archangel Michael came up with distance. If there's distance between you and somebody, it's for a reason. It's for spiritual protection. I need to get some more information on who the heck you're dealing with. Let's get some more details on who you're dealing with in the next 48 hours. Who are they dealing with? Let's get some descriptions so we can figure it out. Who are they dealing with? Next 48 hours. Who are they dealing with? Describe this person. The crossroads. This could be a choice at night, in the evening. An unexpected decision. The whip. Unexpected challenge. Okay, so somebody has to make a difficult choice in regards to something that needs to get fixed or something that's happening in the house. Who are they dealing with in the next 48 hours? Some of you guys may have some arguments or something like that in the house. And if it's not your house, maybe it could be around your way at night. Some sort of arguments or something like that, like the neighbors. Next 48 hours. Somebody's going to try to court this female, flirt with this female. 929. Someone is trying to get on your flirty side. This masculine is a cheater. There's a masculine in the next 48 hours. They're a cheater. With the sickle in the reverse, they're trying to fix something. You may have cut them off. They're trying to reconnect. Mm-hmm. Somebody wants you to emotionally open up. Somebody wants this female to emotionally open up in the next 48 hours. And this masculine, he's withholding information about money. He's not talking about like a decision that he's about to make with money, a financial loss. He's withholding how he got money. Something there. There's something weird there with that masculine. Because that snake is there. Ooh, somebody, all right. So there's a situation that happens with this masculine. And for some of you guys, this has to do with somebody that you disconnected from, and they're having issues with their friend, and they're having issues in regards to some sort of finances or something like that. They don't tell you the whole situation. All right. This person comes around and try to talk to you and try to like either throw you in the situation or get you to help them out. Helping them out in the next 48 hours is going to drain you. All right. It's going to deplete you and it's not going to get you anywhere with this particular person. That's what I'm seeing. It's like somebody's trying to come around to ask for your help, but this person is so caught up in other stuff that it could get you caught up in other stuff too. All right. Because I'm seeing like a woman receiving money, but I'm also seeing something about like financial trouble or business trouble, okay? And then I also see like with this masculine, I told you this person with the snake here, they're a cheater. They're a liar, okay? This man could have a mistress, all right? This just a troublemaker, okay? Somebody that you disconnected from, right? Maybe you're not friends with their friends anymore, or maybe you were friends with them at some point in time or whatever, and now you're not friends with them, all right? But there's a decision here that this person makes, and somehow it affects you, all right, in the next 48 hours. And it's like somebody here with the lock and the key, they're trying to get you to open up emotionally, or they're trying to like pull on your emotions or your heartstrings. And again, that will make sense on why, working on your heart center, in the next 48 hours may be significant. Lightening up the load of whatever this energy is. Next 48. We have a child here with the sun. 1331. Yeah, your inner child is actually happy. But whenever this energy comes around, it distracts it. The child in the ship. You might go to a new place in the next 48 hours. A new place may be mentioned to you in the next 48 hours. Looking up directions to a different location. All right. Angel number 133. Let's get some more insights. So yeah, some of you guys may need to continue to establish those boundaries, because if people keep coming around like that, they think that they still have pull on you. They still can like make you do things or make you think things, right? That makes sense with the release attachment, because you got to distance yourself from those particular emotions that these people are trying to make you feel, those particular habits, that type of particular relationship, in order for you to experience your peace. They cannot have access to you. And you got to be okay with being still and not moving around and not being out and about in the loop sometimes. Not everyone is allowed to read your energy or be in your energy. You know? Clarify what's going on here with the person that befriended them. With the intel, we got memories. They could bring up situations from the past. That enemy situation, clarify that enemy situation. Beginnings. Even when you started over again. Obsession. This person loves to talk about everything you do. Clarify they talk to your enemies. They talk to your enemies. What is this? They talk to their enemies. Intuition. Running. You know what that tells me? That tells me that you've been sitting there like saying, oh, I'm gonna make up this excuse and that excuse, and that didn't happen. There's a reason why they disappeared. There's a reason why they ghosted me. There's a reason why they ran out like that. But in that inner knowing knew exactly why they ran. You know it. All right. Clarify they talk to your enemies. Clarify that. What's that about? Commitment. Exhaustion in the reverse. It's like these people got time to sit there and talk shit about you. Like, they really do. They make the time. Like, wasn't you tired a second ago? Wasn't you going to go to bed? Yeah, but, I got to talk to you about this person. Like, what? Clarify the source will be revealed. Clarify the source will be revealed. Who's this? Confessions. Wow. So somebody's going to say something out of their mouth, and it's going to reveal who the fuck the enemy is in the next 48 hours. Coming clean. Somebody coming clean in the next 48. What are they coming clean about? The source will be revealed. Coming clean about what? Distance. The real reason why somebody kept their distance. The real reason why somebody pulled back. The real reason why somebody was acting the way they were acting. The real reason why the messages were blocked. The real reason why, somebody decided that they needed space or there was separation. The real reason. Clarify the source will be revealed. Separation. Stress. This is going to stress somebody out. There's going to be an argument. I'm telling you, there's going to be an argument. Turbulence, tension. Clarify why is that arguments there? Why is there a need for the arguments to take place? Clarify those arguments. Thank you. Possibilities. Clinging. And longing in the reverse. Wow. So it's like somebody's holding on to what could have happened in a situation. Somebody's clinging on to what could have happened that they didn't want to happen in a situation. Does that make sense? Did I say that right? They're clinging on to, they keep bringing up a situation that they did not want to happen that could have happened. And I'm not sure if this situation actually happened or not. But in this point, We're talking about the person that was sitting there giving intel. This is the person that gave intel. All right. So either they already gave the intel long ago, and then the next 48 hours this is when it's coming out, or this person has the very misfortunate situation where they try to fucking do this in the next 48 hours and they immediately get caught. Immediately, as it's happening. You get what I'm saying? And oop, their pride. There goes the pride again. They don't want to admit to the fact that, they withheld some sort of information or why they withheld the information, and they're given that tough face. Okay? But somebody talked to somebody. So it's like, imagine I'm saying to you, oh, I don't speak to person A. And then you start talking to me, a few weeks from now or whatever. And then I tell you, I slip up by telling you that I heard this person say whatever, or I was talking to this person A. And then you go, wait, hold on, but I thought you said that you didn't talk to that person. So how did you hear that person did this, or when did you have time to talk to that person for that person to say that to you? You know what I'm saying? It's something like that, but it has something to do with something personal of yours, because the intel is your information. It's something that has something to do with you. So that's what's coming back around to you in the next 48 hours. And your spiritual team is saying, with that disharmony there and the heavy energy, you need to cleanse that out and clear that out. To restore your energy and your essence. And that quietness that you've been feeling, that sensation of feeling like, all right, I gotta be quiet for a little bit, or I just want time to myself or something like that. That's actually you picking up on something going on around you. But you just need quiet to figure it out. You have the Elders Council. Answers. Okay, here's your answers. Ancestors provide insight from experience of echoes of their wisdom. All right. So they're about to tell us what they would do in this situation. They're about to tell us. Hold on. What would they do? All right, ancestors, let them know. I just saw engine number 5757, which equates to 1212. All right, what would you advise them? Provide insight from your experience, ancestors, from the Elders Council. What would you guys advise them to do in the next 48 hours? How to handle this situation? The Ten of Wands. Well, the first thing that they want to say is to acknowledge that everybody's carrying some sort of burdens. That's the first thing that's out. To acknowledge that everybody's carrying some sort of weight on them. Some sort of responsibility, some sort of something. Everybody's going through something. All right. And not only that, for you to assess how much more bullshit you want to deal with in the next 48 hours. Is this worth dealing with? The judgment. Is this worth my time sitting here yelling, raising my voice, having to explain, or stress over? All right. Is there an ending to this? The Knight of Cups. They're saying sometimes with a little bit of sweetness, you can get your way with the Knight of Cups and the Nine of Cups. Sometimes showing a little bit of grace and compassion will allow you to get the contentment that you want, right? But what does that mean in a situation where you have a trauma leech? Clarify that situation with the trauma leech. We have the Five of Pentacles. Cut your losses when it comes to a trauma leech. Cut your losses. Let them figure it out. There's many churches and many nonprofit organizations and many people that can help out those people. But you are not in the energy to be able to do that. So if you need to direct them to someone else, then do that. But you have not the time, nor energy, nor resources financially to deal with this shit in the next 48 hours with this trauma leech. All right? They're definitely testing your strength and your resilience. But your strength is really to honor your resources and honor your time. All right? They're trying, again, to manipulate you emotionally. They're trying to guilt trip you, to make you feel bad, to make you feel accountable, to make you feel like you got to do something that you don't want to do. So they will get you in an emotional level, all right, to try to control you, all right, to try to make you feel like you have to be supportive, all right. This is they're trying to be persuasive, all right. But they're saying, cut all ties. Let them handle that themselves. Chariot. Let them keep moving. All right? Because you got too much stuff to do. So strengthen your inner will. Especially if this has anything to do with family. Okay? Because I'm seeing, maybe Leo, Cancer, water sign male. Okay? Pluto could be significant. Sun, rising sun could be significant. Okay? So what about that whole situation with the liar? What would you guys advise in regards to that with the liar? Well, the Lovers here, there's a major decision. That's a big choice. It depends who is it. They said it depends who is it, and it depends on whether or not it's someone that you're in a relationship with. And if the relationship is a very major relationship in your life. So they said, if it's a situation where, let's say it's your romantic partner, it's your spouse, well, we have the Nine of Wands here. It's that, well, that's definitely going to hurt and damage the connection between you and them. So because there is either an omission of some sort of information that this person does not tell you, and that's romantic person, right? But there is some sort of relationship between you and this person that tries to withhold information from you, all right? Or in your eyes could be seen as a lie, okay? The both of you, you have to make a choice on whether or not, you guys can fix this and be happy. But what is your advice here in the situation? King of Swords, head over heart. Head over heart. If you know that that's one of your, conditions, that's one of your rule breakers, like don't ever lie to me. Don't ever withhold information from me. If there was a conversation that was already set in stone in regards to this, and this person does this again, then you have to think head over heart in regards to this, especially because it is a major connection in your life, right? So the impact is going to be bigger than, somebody that you barely know doing that to you versus someone that you've known over 10 years versus, someone that you've let into your home, someone that you've let into your bed. You know what I'm saying? With the Knight of Swords here, they're saying, make sure that it's not something that you don't react out of impulse, right? That you're not impulsive when you make this very big decision, because it is a big decision. With the Six of Pentacles, it's like, you give what you get. But if you didn't lie to someone and someone lied to you, if you forgive them and you allow them to, get a second chance, again, with the confirmation of no second chances, right? So they already said what they said earlier, but for some reason, someone needs to get this reiteration. Sometimes you need to make difficult choices in order for you to not experience pain twice. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes we need to make very difficult choices, chopping block decisions, in order for us not to get exposed to pain again. And we're not talking about an impulsive decision because you're panicking and you're not sure if somebody, is for you and you're pushing something away, or you're avoiding and you're running away from love or running away from something deep. We're talking about someone disrespecting you. You told them multiple times not to do that because that is a form of disrespect. And you give them a second chance over and over and over again to walk all over you. You're no one's fucking doormat. So making a responsible decision over your heart and major relationships in your life, so that way you can actually experience reciprocity in your life. So you can experience what it is to be gifted things, not because they want something from you, but because they want to see you light up with joy as they give you that gift, because they actually want to see you happy, because they actually want to see you, excited, right? And so they're saying, making these major decisions in your life, they're going to cause major shifts in your finances. You guys have experienced a lot of lack in resources, in time, in energy, maybe even in health, all right? Health scarcities, health scares, okay? But that is because of all the energy. You have so much. The Ten of Wands talks about someone that literally does everything themselves. Things that they don't even know how to do themselves. They learn how to freaking do it for themselves, and are constantly ridiculed over and over again on how they do things, but they have to do it again themselves, alone, with little resources, little to none, and little to no energy, but they still get the fuck up and try to make shit happen. And that's the energy that you guys are in. And they want you in this energy of being able to be quick to receive from people that they're not just there because they want something from you, but they actually want to support you and to see you progress in life and to see you in this emotionally stable energy, right? They want to see you emotionally satisfied and continue to see you in that energy. And so now your elders are saying there's going to be some energies that are going to be exposed to you. And sometimes, putting labels on things sometimes could be restricting, but sometimes putting labels on things could be very, very enlightening, right? Kind of how like you smack on, a label for children not to consume something. Nobody's supposed to put this in their mouth. No one's supposed to eat this, right? Same thing with interacting with toxic connections and toxic people. We're going to start exposing these people this next upcoming month, is what your ancestors are saying. So are you prepared to rip the blindfold and actually see who the fuck is around y'all? Because that's what's happening. It's happening in the next 48 hours. And why is this happening? Well, I'll let you guys know before I wrap up this reading. It's because you are about to experience healthy relationships. There's supposed to be a new chapter in regards to relationships in general in your life. And they're supposed to overflow. They're supposed to help your heart grow. They're supposed to help you heal emotionally, help you heal subconsciously. All right. And you're supposed to actually experience a soulmate connection, a deep soul bond. For some of you guys, this is friend related. Some of you guys, this is business related. Others of you, this is spiritual related. And for very few, this is spouse energy coming in. All right. I'm going to wrap up this reading like this. Comment down below. Let me know how you guys like this reading and how it resonates for you. And I will see you in the next 48-hour reading next time. Peace.